welcome to Tolleson-Mack. Today's Tolleson-Mack podcast is brought to you by Hoof Grip.
Get quality you can stand on. Hoof Grip is the proprietary formula that provides shock absorption for your animals with no ice buildup, slipping, cracking, or sogginess, making it the safest, most comfortable, and maintenance-free flooring on the market. Hoof Grip installs quickly and easily over existing surfaces, is easy to clean, and withstands extreme heat or cold. From vet offices to barns, wash racks to trailers and more. Visit hoofgrip.com to find a dealer in your area today.
Hoof Grip. Yeah, we're sending a trailer up there to get done.
You are.
I am?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is.
Yep.
All right. We got Brid on here, little co-host in action.
Glad to be here.
And Mr. Suge Knight Jr. How are you, sir?
What's going on, you
What's
guys?
up,
Thanks for having me.
Man,
Say that one more time. I don't need
Mr.
Yeah, no.
Suge Knight Jr.
Yeah.
What's going
That part?
on? What's going on?
All right. I like it. Man, a little different. Usually we're talking to guys on here about roping and rodeo and all that good stuff. But, man, we got in contact to you from Ducks Customs. They build lowriders, hot rods, stuff like that.
Shout out to Duck Customs.
Big shout out to them
shout out
guys,
to
man.
Duck Customs.
They build some nice cars. And we were riding down the road, and he's like, man, would you like that dude to come on your podcast? I love it. Like, I got questions. You know, I mean, you read what you read or you see what you see in the media, but I would imagine you got a little more insight, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know, I've been asked every single thing. You already know. You already got the P hat ready.
Oh, yeah. We
You
got
know what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing too much different than what you guys in the roping industry than, you know, like the hip-hop merch industry, the rap industry. So it's a lot of things that you have in common.
Hey, I'll tell you, I agree with that statement 100% because when I got here, you were out there driving a tractor around and you looked right at home.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so you were fine.
What'd you have him on?
I had Big Blue.
Big Blue.
I said we call this one Big Suge.
You do have to, like, you know, turn it red, though.
Yeah, I know. Our rules, and I'll be getting on me.
You're gonna have to get the painter out. But when I got here, you were driving around. We watched them load some hay, move some hay around.
You know, throwing some, loading some hay. That you call it, that nice, good hay. Hell, even did
That
some
good
roping.
green.
Yeah, hell, that good green. You know what I'm saying? I even did some roping too. You know, I'll show you guys some of my roping skills. We're gonna call out some people.
Yeah.
Shad Mayfield got a call out.
Shad Mayfield, I'm talking to you.
It's
Shad
on
Mayfield.
site. It's on site. He said.
Also, don't forget what's his name, Benny
Mosley.
Yeah, Benny Mosley.
Site too. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I got my form right.
Yep.
We're gonna show down.
Them last couple runs, you were looking pretty good.
I'm telling you, I'm a
Well, we had the 1994 Resist All Rookie of the Year helping,
For sure.
Yeah.
right? And then you get Britt here. I mean, those are two coaches.
Here we
I mean,
go.
that's calling Belichick off the bench right
That's
there.
what I'm saying. I heard a lot about you, Brett. It's a pleasure, man.
It's been good. Yeah, man, it's good. It's just like with anything else. Like I said, I was gifted or blessed with a talent, but took it to a different level, and it's been great for me, just like with anything else.
I called him. I said, "Hey, we got Caesar's gone right now. His kids are in Iowa at the junior high finals over there. So it was a big deal over here." So I said, "Britt, I was like, you want to come to a podcast?" Like, yeah. I'm like, with Suge Knight Jr.? He said, what? I said, what?
No doubt.
I said, well, hell yeah. He said, I have a lot of questions. And tell him about your backstory with your horses' names and stuff.
Yeah, so with me, I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma in a small northeastern town. And of course, about that time when Death Row hit, it was a lot of Snoop Dogg. And of course, I got the first album and I just fell in love with the music. And then from that point forward, that's all I followed. From that to Dre to Keep Their Heads Ringing to Lottie Dottie to W Balls, all that stuff. I hit on W Balls.
Man, you are. This is an honor, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I have many miles that have I listened to, and at that time it was a CD. We didn't go all the way back to the cassette tape, but I'd have to tell. But Snoop Dogg,
Shout out to Snoop.
yeah, it was one of our first. Oh, SNOOPDOGGYDODOG, you see. So with that being said, I mean, he's just like one of my favorites, and I was a guy that shouldn't listen to rap. I was a roper. You listen to country bunk and stuff, but I mean, not that I don't like that genre either, but I did like rap, and I liked a lot of it. So there was a few horses throughout my career that I didn't want just normal names. I didn't want him to be Sarley or Skip or whatever. So the first horse was Calvin Broadus.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was SNOOPDOGG. So Snoop Dogg went all the way to the national finals,
See,
and I named my horse Snoop Dogg. So
Because in this world of roping, horses are just as famous, or maybe in some cases more famous than the guy that's riding them.
Yeah.
Horses have.
I almost think
vibe.
more famous.
You know what I mean? So
they carry on further.
when Britt talks about if this horse makes horse of the year or whatever, it's going to be on a trophy that's going to be there for lifetime. So it's a cool thing if these, Snoop or
Snoop,
you
man.
know,
Snoop about to tap in now.
yeah, that's
bro.
what I mean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's tight. So horses like the low riders or something like that,
They have their own
Well, I'm
line.
mentioning the glory.
But he had pioneers too, kind of like a Doberman, which is like on the first track when he's laid across the doghouse, So I'm just like, I like it because my horse, and normally they won't. It's called pioneered. It's something that when they're born with it. So, but I liked it so much, and I like rapping so much, so I called him Snoop Dogg.
Damn. Well, shout out to Snoop Dogg, man. Continue your legacy.
He's like, yeah. He goes, I'll be there. I'll be honest. Hell yeah. So
Yeah, million miles.
But that is a fact. I mean, some of these horses take on a career of their own, and they will go from one guy, get sold to another guy, and everybody knows, like, hey, when I pick, like Caesar sold Lucky Bucky to Junior. Everybody knows Lucky Bucky.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we'll be standing at a roping, like me and Britt did some podcasting at a deal down in Casa Grande, a little south of here.
Okay.
And when Junior came, everybody knew the horse he was, like, immediately what horse he was on.
It was like, that's Lucky Bucky.
Yeah.
Damn.
You knew, right?
some of them have, fan pages. I mean, it's that crazy. I mean, it's really.
Didn't Trevor just sell one for 1.7?
1.2 sold a mare.
Oh, 1.2.
Sold a
1.2
mare.
million?
Yeah.
God damn.
That's a performance. Hey,
That's some balls on my side.
no. Hey, that dude you're calling out, Shad Mayfield,
Yeah.
I bet you if you walked up with 500, he wouldn't sell.
Yeah, Lollipop or Tootsie Pop.
No.
Since he, damn.
And see the names that these guys, it's like a legacy for them, so they want a cool name. They don't want to be, Bob. Well, there's a nice horse named Bob with Lions, but that's probably one of the best horses ever too. But like they want a name that's cool, sticks out, and stuff like that. So
What was that other transmission?
Coleman Proctor's horse.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. But it's basically the transportation for a living. And when you come down to talking about a living, the importance of that word is that they've got to take care of everything. If it's a family, if it's their livelihood. So yeah, it's important, and they become a team, especially those events that require horses. It was for me. There's a lot of them I loved, and then there's a lot of them I still made a good living on, but they weren't that fun to be around either because they just had some ticks or did some things. But for the most part, all of my good horses were geldings. I didn't have any mares ever, but I mean, they were horses I like to be around all the time. So you kind of become as much time as you're around them, you become friends with them. It's kind of cool.
That's cool, man. That's cool. How did you get into it?
I was ranch raised, farm raised, and then from that point forward, I just got to where junior rodeos brought, where I was hanging out and doing good, and then I could kind of see that it was building a talent, and then from that point forward, I was just driven to be one of the best, and so went through college, got a scholarship, graduated with a communications degree because of a rope, and a lasso and a horse, which is kind of cool story in itself. But yeah,
Britt was
That's dope.
yeah, it's cool. So then I competed professionally I'm still competing professionally. The luster wore off the travel as much as I was going, but for 15 years, I was good at what I did, and I was happy.
well. He's modest about that. What I'm gonna say is like he's an upper for a long period of time, and that's rare in this day and age. I mean, to make the national finals is something of its own. He made it 13 times. So it's
That'd be like 13.
yeah.
That'd be like 13 number ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
number one records.
That'd be like
so imagine-
13 number one records. Not a one-hit wonder. He didn't make it one time.
Yeah,
You know what I
times,
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd
he's probably just
that's it.
and then there's so much that goes on with that. He was sponsored, so he was big time in the industry.
Yeah.
So, for him to want to name his horses after me, that was something that he
Yeah, I just loved
Loved
it.
the rap.
I loved it.
Dewey, Oklahoma.
Loved it. There couldn't
Oh,
have been.
I think there's more people that probably listen to that to rap than people.
Yeah, it pumps you
people
up.
think.
I mean, I
you
don't
know what I
give a
mean?
Hip
what
hop
they say.
rap, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What other horses are the names? Like you got Snoop Dogg,
Snoop Dogg.
I've had a Dr. Dre.
you got Dr. Dre,
I've
We
had a
got
Dr.
Tyrell right now.
All kinds.
Or Tyrell.
Tyrone.
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 He's a big black.
I knew he was black.
They do.
Big black, but he's Tyrone.
And they do too. Now there's a horse. And of course stallions. Nowadays there's this futurity and it's a whole different aspect and this different vehicle that's pushing all these equine things that are going good for ropers and everything else. It's great for us. But there is a stud. When they find a stud that works good that people like if you had a mare. And Suge goes up and goes, Suge Jr. goes, well, I need to breed this horse. And so you've got this mare and you want to have a colt and you're hoping this colt turns out to be this great horse, and which is likely it can, especially with qualified studs that have been proven and in their event and they know. But there are several, and as a matter of fact, there is one that is the Notorious B.I.G., and he's a black horse from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Nice. You got a puffy stud?
We can find one.
I bet he freaky as hell.
He's in the baby oil select.
Oh, yeah.
He's dirty. He's a something called Proud Cut. They don't get it all the way.
Proud cut.
Yeah, he's Proud Cut.
Oh man, that's a mess.
That's a mess.
That is a mess.
And we're getting there. We're getting there. I got some stories.
Hey, what is that, man? That's a mess. And it is involving everybody. The longer it goes on, I'm nervous. I never even been to one of his parties. And I'm like, shit, I'm getting nervous. I don't even know.
Hey, 96, when that tour bus came to town, like, fuck, I did go.
I know. I was a little crazy back in the 1900s.
Man, nothing but white horses.
Nothing. And that motherfucker, young white horses.
Oh man.
Phillies.
So
Phillies.
we had Shad Mayfield on our podcast about
That's what's
6
up,
months
Dr.
ago.
Shad.
And we brought him on, and he had his
And
people
that's a
with
cool
him.
motherfucker.
You got to watch that interview with him we did. It was pretty cool, especially at the end.
I was seeing his highlight. He's a bad motherfucker, man.
yeah.
When
Yeah,
Rope and shit.
all around champion of the world.
Man.
But he was saying that he's friends with Jay Prince, his son's big time into calf roping.
Wow.
So Jay Prince and him, so that they have like a ranch down there, and Jay Prince actually his son ropes and stuff. So do you know them guys?
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Prince Jr. Man.
Okay.
That's what's up, man.
You need to
that's
get with
what's
him.
dope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, he helps him out and does like training stuff with them. So
What are you doing now?
Right now, I'm heavily into merchandise. So I own the Suge Knight IP, and I just pretty much take the clothing and do a lot of collaborations with other people, other brands. And I'm just pretty much building it up. I started out as working at one of the major merch corporations. They were mostly doing like rock metal bands and all that. So I learned from just working with those people in that industry how how to sell tour merch, how to sell e-commerce merch, and then pretty much I got into the license department, and I'm like, oh wow, I can do my own. I can do my father. So I called my dad. I'm like, hey man, I got a great plan. I know you in prison. Let me continue the legacy. So that's pretty much my whole lane is just continuing my legacy. I think I could I can see a lot from the ranch, from the farm, how you guys carry your legacy and carry your name, especially you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did that work? You I mean, me and Brandon and you were talking about it earlier, but for everybody that's listening, how did that work? You trademarked his name? Is that right?
So it's my name.
your name.
Yeah, it's technically my name. So I trademarked our name, and from there it was preventing guys that's like, I don't want to say their names. We could, but
Let's say him.
we like the Whack 100s, the
Ray-
Butterbutt Ray J's and all that
So-
guys.
elaborate on that. So they were out there saying that they had a deal with your dad or whatever to market anything that your dad make money on, anything your dad's name. But you had to fight for this.
I was just gonna say that took some balls.
You had to go up against these guys. So like I give you big time kudos for that because
So-
what I've outside the story, but outside
Yeah.
looking in, I did some research as much as I could find on the internet. But it sounded like you had to put up a fight to get this TM next to your name.
Yeah, man. So it's not really a crazy fight, but it's just like it's a game of chess. So like these guys, they thought they had it with my dad. It's allegedly that they said that they had the life rights and all that to my pops. So while my pops is in jail, he's not he can't really maneuver how he wants to as he's free.
Absolutely.
So while working at this merch company, I learned a lot. I'm like, the first thing I need to do is I need to protect my name, which is our name, because these guys they may allegedly have the rights to his likeness or movie, but when me getting the name and all that, they now need to come back to me for permission to even do it. So that was my only way of like protecting their legacy. So it's like, we don't want your friend and me to have rights to all your hard work. I brought it back to my family. And from there, man, that's just hard work, dedication.
Yeah.
I had to learn those rooms. I had to take pride in where I was at. I went from a kid that had everything with my father to then, we lost a lot of it through lawsuits and all that. And I had the opportunity, thanks to God, to just rebuild that back up. Yeah. So I just had a lot of pride in what I was doing. So I started.
I don't think any of us do, but I mean, on a different scale. I mean, there's been friends that I've got to know through roping and my talent that have lots of money. I mean, like lots of money. But I don't think people understand that what you said and what you've been through as far as on the financial side of things with what Suge started with.
Yeah,
and to the point where, yes, all the things that happen, we pass blunts, not judgment. But
That's what's up.
But to say, man, that's a lot of money.
Oh, it was, yeah,
That's a
definitely.
fucking
Shitload of money. I mean, Death Row sold through Entertainment One for over $1 billion.
That's huge.
Huge fucking numbers. It was just something that I had to learn from when I did the show Love and Listings on VH1. Death Row Records was under Entertainment One. My production company was under Entertainment One. So when I learned just being in that industry, the field, being nice to people, I think the biggest lesson was just being nice, not being an asshole. Like, do you know who I am or whatever? I never was like entitled, always grounded. So just being a good person and like it just opened a lot of doors up, and I was just a sponge just to learn everything. So once I learned like, oh, this how this operates, I can handle these internet gangsters who can say like, yeah, I own Suge Knight. No, you don't.
Yeah.
So it's
You're like, technically, I do.
technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like with the branding and stuff too, because I'm sure that there's so many vultures. I mean, it got to a certain point when it comes to Suge's name, regardless of where he is, he's built something that's to be proud of.
Oh man.
And then started a revolution. And like I said, for somebody to think that you're going to pull into Cheyenne, Wyoming, and whether I got my 10-inch Alpines in the back, but it's normally it's thumping something from Death Row.
Oh, it's definitely
You got
something,
some
man.
looks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. It's no different though, man. Like you guys got your legacies, you got your, your backing. You're known for just being one of the best healers in the game, and is that correct?
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Yeah, I watched your last interview. I was really impressed, man. Like, wow, I'm seeing that it's no different than like how the NFL 40 times. You guys are talking about times on how fast the healers are doing it at like now 3 seconds now.
But I think touching up on what you said there, and I guess too, a lot of different things, whether you were labeled this or I was labeled or anybody in this world, but you said you wanted to, just for the most part, you want to be a good person, and you had every right not to be if you wanted to.
Oh hell yeah, man! I mean, I had my points. I had my role of like being pissed off at the world and like feeling and going through that entitled route, and then I had to realize like I had to get good with my faith, man. I'm a real strong Christian dude, Christian beliefs. So I'm just like I took a break on smoking so much. You know what I'm saying? I took a break on living wrong and going against the grain. And once I kind of like opened my life up to that, I think everything fell into place. Because I was pretty pissed off going to 9 to 5s. No, nothing against 9 to 5s, but it was like, you come from, hey man, coming to America type shit, and it's like, Hakeem, you got here getting out the mud, but it turns out the journey is really a blessing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because time frames, I mean, I somewhat pay attention to, but let's say Suge's biggest day when he hit, I know that, let's just say early on in his career, but let's just say once it hit big, you were how old then?
Oh man, I was just about born. I'm the
Right
third.
around there.
Yeah, so I'm born 95.
Okay.
He already had things kind of taken.
All right, cool.
So like, I'm the third out of 7 kids. So I'm pretty much like the middle child. Shout out to all the middle kids that work hard and but like I benefited, but I didn't really see it.
Right.
Like I was just a kid. I was like, oh okay, cool. Until like I was like 7. That's when shit kind of hit the fan.
Okay.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know when all that shit was happening. So where was home then?
Home was all over, man. It went from like Malibu Beach to Inglewood. So it's like, damn, bro. I was seasoned, you know what I'm saying? From Inland Empire areas to hood areas to the beach areas.
I've been to Malibu Beach and it's nice.
It's
too.
nice, right?
It's
So it's just everything's go full circle. I think everybody should just embrace whatever they go through, because it's like it's like a blessing instead of a curse. I used to think of it
right.
like that.
Right. Yeah, because it could have been a different direction.
Heck yeah, man.
And tell me, your mama?
Oh, my mom, yeah,
She good?
she's the reason why I chose my wife correctly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in like my mom, even though she was separated from my dad, she wasn't the bitter baby mama type. Or like hate your father, your father this. Of course you always grow up and you want to hear your father's side of the story, but shout out to my mom for just kind of instilling what kind of person she was.
That's what's up.
So, because I've been through that shit. Like, man.
Yeah, it ain't no good.
Yeah.
Ain't no kind of fun.
What? Ain't no kind of fun. Ain't no kind of fun.
Ain't no kind of fun. No.
Nah.
So when your dad was building that empire, he went through, you watch again, you just watch and you learn and you see what's on the internet and you can't really believe all that shit. But did he hold Vanilla Ice over the rail? I gotta ask.
You know what?
I gotta ask.
That's a great question. Did he hold Vanilla Ice over? I believe he did.
I believe he
he
did
did too. You know what I'm saying? And now Vanilla Ice is coming out like, no, that story's not true.
Bullshit.
But if it wasn't for Vanilla Ice, you know, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. So like, if Vanilla Ice didn't steal that song, there was no reason for my pops to go after him.
Right.
So it was always two different sides of the media. Like, you know,
Well, there's two different sides to all them stories.
Always,
though,
you know.
sure.
Regardless, he got his fucking point across.
Either way.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like during those 1900s, you know, the 1900s, that's how they handle business.
Yeah.
It's
know
a
what
little
I'm saying?
different.
Different world.
You know, we all had different generations. You know, further back, you could slap your wife. Now you can't do that type of stuff.
Can't even look at it wrong.
Not saying I condone that, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
You know, they had child labor. You can't have child labor nowadays. You know.
Yeah.
So when Straight Outta Compton came out, that movie, when you first time you watched it, what was you're like, what'd you think?
And did you go out to watch it quickly?
Straight Outta Compton, no, I didn't. Straight Outta, because it was just a weird time. That was the time when that was literally right after, because you know that was where my dad had
This accident.
had his hit and run accident. So on that movie set. So when that movie came,
that was on that movie.
that was
Yeah,
on that movie set. So it was during that time. I'm like, I'm in my college dorm room. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm like, oh man, like when that happened, I'm like, oh snap, like all I can remember is my dorm mate like, hey bro, something happened to your dad. And I'm like, is he alive? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I went back to sleep because it was early as shit in the morning, and I wasn't trying to go back to say I didn't care. It was just like, dude, like my dad done cheated death like multiple times. Like he got shot more than 50 cents. So it's like, like damn, bro. So man, I don't know. During that, I didn't watch the movie, but when I did, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't a good movie either. It's always just terrible actors or people who represent them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think the guy who actually played my dad got in some real trouble too.
Oh yeah, he like started living it.
Yeah, that's a problem with some of these
Like
dudes.
I think you'd be like when you watch too much The Sopranos. Remember when you watched every
episode twice?
That probably ain't good for that guy.
Yeah, every episode twice. I was learning. Is what I was doing. I was trying to figure that out. How about Ice Cube's kid? You like Ice Cube's kid?
Oh,
You
he's
think
dope.
he did all right?
Hell,
I thought he did pretty good.
He's dope.
He's a good actor.
He's
too.
a really good
He's
actor.
good.
He's a real hard worker. You know, some people don't understand like having a legacy or your father. You have to work 10 times harder, and then people still think it's like handed to you. Or
I've only seen two ways that can go because it happens a lot in farming, right? Like, you know, the grandpa will work and then the dad will work and then they pass it down to these kids. And then lately, there's only two ways that's going to go. They're going to smoke it up or take it to the next level. That's the only way it's going to work.
I mean, that's the only two ways
That's
how
it.
things go.
Yeah,
you know?
and I mean, they just and a lot of kids embrace it, and I mean, there are some fuck ups, but
I can understand though. My dad didn't really trust me in the beginning because, like you said, smoke it up, bro. I was in California, man. We had all that good weed and all that. I'm over here like, I
Every
think
day.
Tupac is alive. I'm over here like,
I found him.
I found him. I think I seen him. I'm not gonna lie, like
Tupac's alive.
but behind me saying that, like why Tupac was alive, because I know people probably know me for that. Yes, I was high as shit, but like I was really in this entertainment field. My TV show on Love and Listings, it was like ranked on the lower end. So like we had Love and Listings, we had no celebrities. The only two celebrities was like I wasn't really considered a celebrity like that, but it was me, and then you had the NFL player Zach Dials. Other than that, it was just kind of regular realtors and all that. There were powerhouses, but people weren't into like it wasn't like $1 million listings.
So you threw it out there to try to get some.
So bro,
It worked.
I had to kind of do it calling like the Ray J tactic, you know, like it worked accidentally though, because I was just high. I was just like, man, like Tupac's alive, and I went to sleep. And the next day, I'm like on the news, Tupac is alive. We're searching for him. Suge J Night.
First Suge
And I'm
J
like,
Night.
holy shit.
But you packed that shit up and ran with it. Then.
Hell yeah. Bro, because when that production company was like, I took our production company from like a couple $100,000 to a couple million. So like as soon as we came into the interview or came into shoot, we had like better equipment. I had like makeup on the set. They're like, hey, Mr. Knight, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? To like, it went from like, get the fuck out of my face to, how's it going, sir? How was your day? Excuse me, do not talk to him like this.
You only want ice in your water or no ice in your water?
Yeah, man, I can curse somebody up for a latte. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I never did that, but it was just like, it shocked me. So I can understand why like dudes like Ray J or other crazy entertainers, Whack, he's in the same circle as Ray J. So all those dudes, why they have to like do sporadic things to survive.
Yeah.
But that shit is not the way to live. Like that's like being a known liar is it's not worth it.
And I just can't believe, like, and politics or politics and everything, but like the way he talks about the different gangs that he's affiliated. I mean, they're all like outside the fucking door where he lives. You know,
It's a good idea.
like they're not in New York or what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, but I mean, I cringe sometimes for the stuff he says. It's like, fuck.
Bro,
I ain't taking them to eat with me. But where I eat at, they don't wear those hats.
exactly. Yeah, you guys are funny,
I
man.
did my research.
You guys, yeah. See, look, I'm not even like the person to talk to for gangs. Like I'm aware of the gangs and all that, you know. But
That's all you need to be.
That's all you need, just be aware of it. Because like in 2025, if you're a gang member, you're just probably on the spectrum because you're just something is really it's way too many opportunities. Like in the 1900s or the early 2000s,
Way back.
way back in, I could see why you were a gang member. You had the internet just came out, and you're not even
That makes sense.
outside. You know what I'm saying? But now you have all these opportunities. It's like you're just habitually choosing to do wrong.
Before, if you did something inside of a building, there was a 50-50 chance it probably got you on camera, maybe not. It's a fucking 90% chance outside anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You're more every fuck. I mean, you're gonna get caught.
You're gonna get caught, and
Everybody
then
has a phone.
And then on top of that, it's just too easy to link you guys up because of social media. So if you're gonna be a gangster, you can't. You really gotta be off grid.
Yeah, no shit.
Exactly.
Hey, and you can't believe how many people watch that shit.
Bro.
No.
I was at Zamora's the other day. Some lady come up to me and said, I just seen you on Channel 15 yesterday doing that thing over in Tolleson.
Bro.
Now, how they recognize, I mean, it's like, you watch TV that close?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't.
Man, we don't watch TV like that anymore. That's kind of the reason why like reality shows took a hard hit.
Hey, wait, hold on a
After
second. I watch real stories of Mormon wives.
Okay.
I do watch that shit.
Mormon shows.
Mormon shows.
Those
that's
are
different.
hitting, bro.
Yeah,
Those are like 24
boom.
seasons.
I'm talking about Mom Talk.
Yeah. Bro. I put on the Mormon show. I forgot who it was.
You know you're gonna watch Mom Talk now. Let me tell you, you should watch Mom Talk.
I'm gonna tell you, like, the reality shows that's like the GOATs right now is looking for barefoot. I mean,
That is some funny shit.
Bigfoot. That's a fucking gold mine because you're never gonna find his ass.
But you're gonna keep looking.
Keep looking.
What? Oh, dude. So it's this group of Mormon chicks in obviously Utah. And I mean, all smoking hot. And they like have swinger parties. And then they get pissed off.
Okay.
And then they're fighting amongst each other. And then this one girl started this group called Mom Talk. And I mean, it's one of these deals. My wife and my daughter are watching it at dinner. And I can't help but just watch it.
Yeah.
And then now I'm over here, Team Taylor. I'm getting motherfucking hashtag tattoos and shit.
Bruh,
Hey,
yeah.
That's what you need to do. Start producing Mormon reality shows.
Bro, those shows are just a headache though. Like, man,
That's got to be a lot of personalities.
those are the only ones that survive in these reality shows. It's Mormon shows, those fucking fat people on 1,000-pound sisters, 1,000-pound. Man, like TLC they're just killing it with all those type of like experiment shows.
They're bailing out loud. She was the one with Tourette's.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's some.
That was a good episode.
Raining vaginas.
I don't understand.
Slap a weenie, roast a weenie.
I don't understand why. I understand she has Tourette's, and I understand that it makes you say something that you can't control. I get all that, but why does it have to be so negative and vulgar?
Why does it got to be vagina?
3 or 4 different kinds. Yeah.
Why can't it be like rainbows and?
Because you're just a nice person after that. Like,
Oh,
it's not Tourette's.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good day.
You're just screaming rainbows.
It's like
You look really nice today.
Joe Biden has pussy. It's crazy.
My mom's got gonorrhea. My mom's got gonorrhea.
I don't know if this this episode's gonna be for everybody today.
Man, but no, we're going to bring it back into legacy though.
All right, let's bring it back.
We'll bring it back into legacy. It's cool to veer off though, but like we're gonna bring it back to legacy.
I will tell you right now, if I ever see Suge J Knight as a producer of a Mormon reality show, I'm gonna know, that I gave you the idea right now.
You guys can have every right to find me. Like, where's my finder's fee, Suge?
Where that at?
We got that.
On a hay farm.
On the hay farm, yeah.
Right?
So yeah, like
West Coast Mormons.
straight up, man.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
like
just so many different ways I'm learning on this farm. Like, shout out to Hauser Farms. That's a dope place. Thank you for having me. And like just finding different avenues how to continue my legacy. So I'm looking into I was talking with you some of you guys about getting into the meat industry. So like,
I know a guy.
That was just the
You know-
catchiest idea. I was, ever the market, just the name. The
We gotta keep that on the down low.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got that. Yeah.
That's funny.
We were ready to hit. Yeah.
I like it though. I like
Ready
it.
to continue the legacy on a lot of.
We own here.
We'll ship some to your dad. Let him try it.
I'm definitely down for that. It's just how these dudes get that shit.
Oh man.
They might not want like some meat in their ass.
Probably not.
Some keister,
Keistered meat.
keister sirloins.
I wasn't even thinking about
Ribs.
transportation yet.
Oh man.
Have you ever been on a horse?
Yeah, I've been on a few horses when I was a kid, man. But like now, shit, nah.
I mean, I kind of feel like you're one of the crew now. I mean,
Yeah.
we usually bring guys in and talk to them, and it's like, all right, man, we got to see you. All right, later. Shit, you kind of one of the crew.
Where's home now?
Yeah.
Where's home now?
Home now is Beverly Wood or Beverly Hills area, so that's pretty much home.
And
West
how's
LA.
that like?
It's a lot of fucking sushi, a lot of dog parks,
A lot of dog parks.
a lot of dog parks, a lot of permitted parking. Shit that's annoying.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. It's
You ever meet Dana White?
No, I haven't, but I'll be glad to meet him.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty cool.
I went to I went to a farm show, and then I had to meet my family in Anaheim. So I drove a rental car from where was I? Tulare down to Anaheim. So I was like a couple 3 hours early. So I zoomed off. The Nelk Boys, I follow them a lot, and
Okay.
so they go to this place called the $1 Billion Burger.
Okay.
It's a black owned. It's one of the oldest ones right there. And I pulled up there and parked my rental car at the back, walked up in the front. It's on Compton Boulevard, like right there. You just little hole in the wall deal, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's a dope spot.
Yeah.
Shout out to John, Happy Dad and the Nelk Boys.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
keep
I love-
doing your thing.
Man, I'd love to meet them guys. I would.
No,
love
we
to meet
got
them
to make that happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna make that happen because Happy Dad was one of them good drinks. I like the John actually sent me a couple Happy Dads with Death Row when they did the
Yeah,
Death Row
that's
collab.
exactly. Yeah.
So it was pretty dope. It's all fam.
Yeah.
It wasn't like all beef or anything like how the media portrays it.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember when like Snoop first bought Death Row. I'm doing quotations because the media like to do it. I'm not hating on Snoop, but it's like okay. But when they did, I remember TMZ calling me like, "Hey Suge, are you punching the air right now? Are you mad as fuck that Snoop bought it?" I'm like, "No, bro. Like, that's a win for the West Coast.
Yeah.
We're not pissed off. Maybe my dad has a different story
Yeah.
about it, but like at the end of the day, we just want businessmen to handle their business.
Yeah.
And just like keep the legacy alive.
I mean, who better could it have went to?
I mean, it was,
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So like it was pretty dope. He's a hard worker, and all that.
That dude is a worker, bro.
He works
a lot.
He's smokes,
Olympics?
goes to the Olympics.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. I mean, no, he doesn't work harder than Puff Daddy though. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Puff-
but that's like because of the baby oil, less friction.
Dude, he was doing 18-hour threesomes and running a liquor business and gangsters and all that. Like,
Transportation.
it was an overachiever, but not like the
Right.
one that you like to be. But he was still an
I
overachiever.
listened to interviews
Oh,
with
there's a
your
lot
dad.
of work in that.
Yeah.
People think it's easy.
Hey, your dad says there's truth to 100% of it. I listened to a podcast your dad did, and I was like, whoa.
There's a lot of work in that.
Yeah, bro.
In that field.
They come from a different era though. Record sales, like there's not that many record labels anymore. Because I have a record label. It's called Overnight Entertainment, but it's mostly just turned it into a management company because the majors now are just like Universal and Atlantic, and you just can't compete with those guys. So those guys have like billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Then you're just competing with Live Nation, who controls all the concert venues. So it's just like when you get into this industry, you have to like fit in where you get in, and that's why I'm like rebuilding with everything because it's like, man, it's so much politics. Like, do you guys have any politics in this open industry? How things
plenty.
are ranked?
Yeah, plenty. It's kind of old school. It's Western tradition, but it could change. It's getting better.
Okay.
Like with TV. TV's what's helping us for the most part, the Cowboy Channel and stuff, because they were just so old fashioned in a lot of their ways. But it is getting better, but there's so much shit, it's just from cattle and what they're supposed to do to how much added money they're supposed to have increased per year. And there's just certain things. But again, it's getting better.
That's good to hear.
Think about rodeo this way. Huge venue. You're the band. Okay? The band is a cowboy.
Okay.
The band comes to that huge venue and doesn't get paid unless they put on the best performance of their life.
Sound like Live Nation.
But that's how it is, right? These guys don't get paid unless they put on the best performance.
Guarantees.
And everybody in the stands, all the promoter, he gets paid because he gets the seat money,
Ticket sales. Yeah.
ticket sales, and the concessions and everything like that.
Sponsorships.
The PRCA's got it rocked. I'm telling you, they are the live nation.
It's
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like these guys don't get show up money.
and then
Nothing.
they make them drive across the country. Like for the most part, the major rodeos, they all could sit down in a room, in my opinion, and get kind of a track or like a schedule of these rodeos. I mean, would that be that hard? Like, you think of NASCAR.
Any business manager that come in and just,
You know what I
let's
mean?
just say they're not necessarily rodeo related. Let's just say that we talk to somebody in the music industry that maybe managed Beyonce or something.
A
or
tour.
something.
Yeah.
Because then they could maybe work out their dates and destinations and all that different shit. But
These guys have to drive. I mean, I'm not exaggerating this.
But
at all.
what happens is there's tradition. There's
Yeah.
the rodeo in Tucson is in February.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
All the stock shows, San Antonio, Houston, all those, they're all the same time. You can't change them.
That's the hard part, and it goes down to the littlest rodeo in the most potent town. But if that's their weekend, that's their weekend.
And
you know what I mean?
And I think what I see is the problem in the rodeo side of it is there's another Britt Bockius. I mean, there'll never be another this guy, but there's another kid hungry behind him,
wanting to do
like
it.
hungry, like
So
18
just
years old,
keeps rolling.
ready to drive 100,000 miles a year if that's what it takes.
Yeah, that's all they got to
Damn,
do. That's
man.
all they have to do.
Yeah.
Hey, he had to drive from, or just for instance, I mean, they'll have to get in a truck, rope one steer, drive 20 hours, get out in the rain, rope that steer. If they did good enough, then they drive back to the place they went, and then over here, let's run fucking 5 hours over here to run one, maybe place, maybe not. I mean, it's so much gambling on top of everything else.
But you're gambling on yourself.
Yes.
Damn, man, we need to do a show on that. We need to go ahead and
Yeah,
set that up.
yeah,
right.
That'll be badass.
And still to this
Yeah,
day,
man. If they were to ever illustrate with a good production company and a good film crew, and some people that were entertaining, and it's not, bland or dull, but it would be good to let people know and understand, hey, look, this is the lifestyle from start at January when I go to Odessa, Denver, until I end at the Mac on the last day. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty
And not steered by an organization. Like they'll do some of these reality shows, but they're got a little backing from the PRCA or they got a little backing from the PBR. So they kind of steer it to their narrative. But the real stories of these guys is they bust their ass to get to where they are. And if they're not the top 15 in the world, 15
out of however many.
thousands
Yeah.
So it's harder than the NBA draft.
It's like an NBA draft every year.
Wow.
every single year. It'd be like if everybody that made the NBA at the end of the year got cut and they had to make it again.
So that's why I said he made it 13 times.
13.
That's
Damn,
what I'm
man. So
Yeah,
you're so humble and grounded, bro. Yeah. Salute.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was good, and early on, you work towards getting endorsements, and they're better now. Like I said, because of TV, you can offer them more because, I could go to a company and say, hey, look, I got 18,000 people that are going to show up at the Mac, and they're going to be there 10 nights. So your name on my shirt, or maybe your name on my trailer or truck at certain rodeos that they see you pull in, then you can offer them something back, which was always a big part of my deal. I mean, if I wanted endorsements, I wanted to be able to go to a company and be personable and say, look, I just don't want your name on my shirt for product. I want to be able to work front and back end deals. I want money in the middle. I want performance bonuses. Whatever I can possibly get, I'm going to try to capitalize on at this point. But it's getting better now, but there's no guarantees ever. So
Wow, man. Sounds like you guys are no different than rappers or people.
we just hustle.
Hustle.
It's the
Independent.
entertainment industry. I mean, like you said, 18,000 people show up 10 nights in a row. 180,000 show up to watch him do his job, or this guy do his job, or that lady do her job. I mean, it's the entertainment industry, and that's what I'm saying. The guys, the Live Nation of the deal
taking most
is making the money.
Wow.
They making the money.
So
What's their new deal with Vegas this year?
Oh,
Does anybody know the number on that?
No, it's crazy.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars just for them to come there.
Yeah.
I mean, at their slowest time of the year, but Vegas don't want to lose them. I mean, they'll never lose them.
Oh.
Because of the money that it brings in.
Because that's a good point, Britt. It's in December, right? Everybody's at home spending money on their kids, not going to. If the NFR, our Super Bowl was to leave Vegas, Vegas tends to lose a lot of money.
damn, man. Damn.
Yeah. It's there's, and then that's the professional the PRCA. That's the pros. Right down the road, there's another big venue, and team roping is one of the biggest equine. It was maybe one or two biggest now. I don't know. It's up there, but I mean, there's more people at team rope than pretty much anything else. And there's a venue down there. It's called South Point. They have amateur from damn near pros all the way down to the lowest level, and there's I think it was $17 million was that week
paid out
that week
yeah.
in 1 week. Or, 10 days,
ropers,
you know what I mean?
You guys are out here doing it bigger than rappers, man. These dudes out here struggling out here.
You see that check back there? You can't see it right now, but there's a check back there, and it's 2016. Jason Williams and Robert Reynoso won it. $304,000, that check says right there. They
Shout out to those guys, man.
And how many steers was that on?
4.
Head.
They wrote 4.
So they had to rope 4
4 that day. 4 clean, and their time had to be better than probably like 500 people. There's 500 in each.
But 300,000.
$300,000.
It's damn, man.
The odds are like winning lottery.
Yeah, it's tough.
But see that you can go down this whole rabbit hole, right? So those guys make that 300,000 roping 4 steers. You guys rope 10, and may not make that much.
Yeah, because now the rounds pay. Well, 18? They're like 30 something now. They're going to be more this year. So just say they're like 33,000. I think they pay a round, so they win 10 rounds. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But they'd have to win all 10 against the other 14 best
in
people
the world. Yeah.
And these guys come from all over?
All over. You can enter. It costs, it's $2,500 a side to enter. It's $5,000 a team. And you go over there and you compete. It's levels to it. So Britt, even to this day, when Britt goes over there, he's in the top level. They put you in your levels. So I'm not roping against Britt. So it's as fair as they can.
Handicapped.
Like a track and field.
Yep. Just like that.
Okay.
And then they got a number system now to where, like, let's just say hobby ropers and guys that are picking it up just the same way you would frisbee golf or anything like that. I mean, and the reason I say is because I'm playing pickleball and they number you. So, the elite is a 5.0. So everybody that's come to the NFR is going to be a 5.0. But what happens is that in team roping, you can number down similar to what golf is. So if you're not as good and you just take it as a hobby and you're doing it on the weekends, but you're going to these ropings to win that kind of money, you got a number system. And when the two numbers get together, then that makes whatever a 12-point or a 13-point team. So they've got a number system now. So, I mean, it's just, if you went to go get your card and you said, hey, I just been roping for about a week, we'd give Suge, he'd be a number 3 header.
You know what? I might try. You might catch me at a couple things. I'm gonna do a couple.
I mean, it was Suge.
Trading. I get trained by you by the best. You know what?
Hey, and this is an unpopular opinion, but a number 3 header dragging that healer behind him.
Yeah, no.
I'm buying them in the Calcutta every day. Riding Tyrone, don't even worry about it.
Man, that's crazy, man. It's an honor to be here with you guys.
Yeah, man. We're glad
so
you're here.
much, man.
We are too. Yeah.
So, but like, what other dramas though? Because when like in the hip hop stuff, we got beef. What kind of like the healer beef or whatever?
Well, I mean, a lot of times it's who you roping with, and that's at a point. Maybe you start the beginning of the year with somebody that you're going to win with, and let's just say it don't go as good. Well, sometimes there's some drama there because you travel with them all year long, more than anyone else you ever would. Even if you're married, you stay with this guy that you're roping with. So there's some drama there, but normally it's more drama at home because you've probably done something you shouldn't have, especially some of them guys.
You got to think these rodeos.
I've been there before. It's a lot to manage.
When you go to these rodeos, it's a party, right? Everybody, you're there to do a job. These guys are. But everybody in the stands is getting fucked up, and they want to have a great time.
Yeah.
So when
I've seen his last interviews, like all the women was going crazy for the healers or something.
Yeah, they're rock stars.
Yeah, they're rock stars and shit. Yep. Man, you got yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, it's not great on marriages.
So have you guys?
It got to get worse now with all these videos.
So have you guys ever like caught a chick? You ever caught a chick with like lassoed a chick? You brought her over?
I maybe wish I wouldn't have, but yeah. I would have got a hold of a few of them I shouldn't have.
You would not.
Yeah, I wish I would have missed.
Yeah. All right, I think we're going to take a little break.
Yep. We'll come back around too.
Let some drink.
Shout out to Duck Customs.
Duck Customs. Hey, thanks for listening to the Tolleson-Mack, and we'd like to just take a second right now and give a big shout out to one of our coolest sponsors we have, Hoof Grip. They do a great job. I've got it in my trailer. Caesar's got it in his. Brandon, Britt, everybody's got it in their trailers. We really like it. It's an easy, quick cleanup. And again, we just like to thank Hoof Grip. They do a great job helping us out to make the podcast be available for you guys. We're back for part 2. we're just sitting in here talking about Mexican OT. That dude is a badass dude.
Shout out to Mexico
Right.
too, man.
I fought bulls for a long time.
You gotta
And
give him that credit.
I got to give him some credit because he stepped out there and fought bulls.
He
Like,
took it.
Word.
He took it. He took it.
You got to watch the video. We'll show you. But
I gotta check that out.
Dude, he got smoked.
and like but he did it like a man. Like he wasn't
No,
no scaredy cat like jumping on the wall.
Hey, and they didn't put no weak ass shit out
no,
there with
hell
him.
no,
No.
And that's sometimes better because they were coming a little faster. You can kind of juke. But
Yeah.
most of I'd say 90% of the time, them guys are hugging the wall or the fence, trying to get away. He stood there and he tried to juke. He tried to do some stuff, and he did. He landed some. So
Yeah.
Damn.
we shout out Mr. Gonzalez. Benny hooked me up with him, and it's his cousin. So we're trying our angles the best we can to get him on. So
There's certain guys that you kind of see that you think, man, that guy'd be pretty fun to hang
Yeah.
out with, right?
And you got to shoot for the stars.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
hey, and that guy looks like he'd be fucking fun to hang out
Yeah,
with.
man, tap in with them people, man. Shout out to Mexican OT. Why not even try Sauce Walker?
Yeah.
Why not get in
Well,
tap again?
they ain't gonna be talking. They got
Yeah,
beef.
of course not. Yeah, of
They
course.
got beef.
Well, yeah.
He disrespected him pretty bad.
Yeah.
They do a feature and then he doesn't even put it on, and then they switch the whole beat, everything up on him.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
I mean, that's just the rap industry.
Uh-huh.
Snoop Dogg just recently put a diss on to Suge.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like wrestling, man.
Yeah.
So as long as you take care of
Trying
business,
to keep it
get-
relevant.
It's
Yeah.
like it's what you were saying earlier. It's like WWE wrestlers. They gotta sell the show.
You gotta sell the show, bro.
Right.
Tell me
Not
how.
saying it's not real, but they gotta sell it.
Tell me how this happened. How did Trump pardon NBA YoungBoy? How the fuck did that happen?
I think because it was federal. So once he's the president, he could do.
I
federal
understand,
charges.
like he has a ability.
Same way
to
with
do
the
it,
Christmas.
But
Yep.
why? But like, how are they tapped in together? Like, how did that
I
happen?
mean, shit, like NBA YoungBoy is like that guy when it comes to
Yeah.
rap. He's
Yeah.
he got NBA YoungBoy fans are the dudes that's like on the bus playing loud music. It's probably NBA YoungBoy. So
Uh-huh.
he's like getting numbers like the babies that's playing Coco Melon. Like they're
Yeah.
playing that shit all day. Like all
No, it's like Coco Melon.
I was blown away. I'm Kodak Black. He did the same thing to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, man, Trump, you're trying to get that black vote.
Hey, who wrote the greatest
Yeah.
diss track ever? Who you think?
Oh, it's
definitely Tupac hit him up.
Hit him
that,
up.
that was.
That's
I wish I was old enough to be in that studio session.
Oh man, that was good.
Your wife, you
Yeah.
like damn.
Hey, and you felt it. Like you were like,
Exactly.
you felt how mad he was.
you know,
Yeah, man.
there's man like I loved Eazy-E. I mean, obviously I was young, but well, listen, it was way before my time. It was like '86 when he came out. That was when I was born. But Eazy-E, I mean, shit.
No Vaseline.
Man, if they
Excuse-
just would have
No Vaseline is a banger too.
Yeah.
That was actually
That's
that's
a
actually
banger.
under Death Row.
Yeah.
Under
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that was under like you do your research on it. No Vaseline was under Death Row catalog.
Oh. What was that? What was the whose office did he go in and tear up?
Jerry Heller.
Jerry, yeah.
No,
So,
no,
in
not
the
Jerry.
movie?
No, in the movie. Remember he went in with the Ice Cube went in with a baseball bat after he left NWA.
I don't know.
Had to be Jerry Heller. That's probably
No,
no. Then that's
it's a little white boy.
That's way before me in the
I
1900s.
can't remember that guy's name.
Before they had cameras.
In the 1900s. Well, damn sure before they had social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are old, older than the internet. The internet came in the 90s.
And it was nice before the internet, I think.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was.
What do you think, Britt?
Oh.
I
Yeah.
think it was nice.
It's good and bad.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, but I do enjoy my phone now. I mean,
No, it's handy. It's
Yeah.
handy.
Yeah.
Hey, so we had a guy on here. You'll have to look it up. His name's Mikey Fletcher. And you remember who Anna Nicole Smith is?
Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah.
So Mikey Fletcher met Anna Nicole Smith. I'll let you watch the podcast. Let him tell the story. But he was telling us because we brought up the same thing about before the internet and before all the social media, and he said that he had went and partied with her and some of his friends in Vegas, and he left and he'd stopped in a little convenience store in Needles. He said he didn't have no shoes on, nothing. He was just going in there to get some water or something because he was half dead. He was trying to make it back to the rodeo to rope. And his face was already on the Inquirer.
Oh,
He said
wow.
that was the social media of the day right there.
So he was getting hella women then. If that fast, you already know.
I mean, it was that fast. Yeah, you gotta watch that one on Mikey
Before the
Fletcher.
social media and internet, I even tell my dad this. Like, I'm like, dude, you guys had it lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, you should have multiple families out there.
No.
But like before the internet,
It was easier to have
you
that.
could have like, okay, I got a family in this city, I got a family in that city. You know what I'm saying? And they'll never find out about each other.
And with your dad being the mobile that he was flying around jets. I mean, come on, you know, like I've listened to Miami was like, you know what I mean? Like I don't, you know what I mean? I get it.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? So like the internet, man. Hell, the internet will put the social media, Instagram will put your side chick and your wife in the suggested followers to each other.
On purpose. On the For You page.
What's going on with that?
Memory come up.
Yeah, on the For You page.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We do not condone that here at Tolleson-Mack.
Yeah, man.
So let's go back to the day that you were high and you took that text. You said Tupac.
He is live.
Man, but
In Malaysia.
I've watched so many videos
Right.
with your dad. There was one like it was 11 years ago. I watched and he says, "I'm not confirming or not if he's alive or dead." Like your dad didn't go one way or the other with it because when he got shot in that car, he was still alive when he went to the hospital and was he alive like 5 or 7 days after?
I think I'm not too sure of the I
But
don't
it was
wanna say
days.
It was days.
Yes.
But I know my dad got hit in the head.
Yeah, it's still bullets still in his head.
Yeah, so it's still in his head,
Yeah.
and like they're still investigating that.
Yeah.
That's why they arrested Keefe D. Like it's still an open investigation. So
They got somebody in custody for it now, right?
KPD.
Keefe D.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's so many loopholes and so many people that have to be investigated that it's
But
like touchy.
Your dad said something that made a lot of sense. He says, "Hey, really, no one's been arrested for the actual murder yet." You know what I'm saying?
No.
So we don't know if he's really murdered or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so with however, you know, he was like the movement. I would say he was one of the first guys to stand up against the cops, right? Like the words that he was using. What I would say, like "fuck the police" and you know that
The lyrics.
lyrics, you know, going on in that time. And then Machiavelli, did he fake his own death in his poems and all his stuff? So,
did.
so that they were like, there's so many connections of how this could have been conspiracy.
I'm gonna be honest though, with all this technology, like this is like 30 years of technology and it's advanced. He's for sure dead though, because there's just no way. And
This
they
guy ain't gonna accept
No,
it.
And they got Diddy tapes from the 1900s, and they got all these like I know, like it's
You might have to talk to him after the
it's in this,
podcast.
there's just no way that like I could just picture Pac out there like, do you want an iPhone? No, get that away from me. Give me this flip phone.
Yeah. And then they got that guy that was in Cuba,
Change.
you know, that was singing and looks just like him, you know, like I went down the rabbit hole.
I like nah. There's just no way to believe that that's like believing that he's still smoking chronic. Like
Yeah.
he would not be smoking chronic. He'd be like, yeah, give me that za.
Hey,
Like nah.
and that's funny for you to say that because I watched your videos when you were like on the fucking news. You're like, "Yep, they're still alive. I know for a fact."
Dude, because at that point,
No, you were on it.
My life changed, man. I went from like be here at the interview time for the show to shoot at this time, and then the next day, hey sir, would you like a latte? Would you like your makeup? Here's a stylist for you. Did you know that you're good for a season 2? Great, Suge. Come in, do whatever. Come in at whatever time. What works for you? And it's like, oh shit, that's just addicting. Like, but nah, man, I give my life to God. Like,
Do you get
do that?
Do you get to where you want to chase that when it starts to go away? You want to try to find something to get that back.
You know, I call that like making deals with the devil. So I don't really do that whole kind of shit. I
You
went
see
through-
guys doing that though.
Yeah, that's when you see people like in Hollywood, whatever. They be like they sold their soul and shit. That's what they kind of mean.
Do you
because
believe in that?
I don't believe they made a ritual like DMX did in like the movie Belly, like on the floor with candles. I don't think he did that. But I think people when they exploit themselves to a certain point where there's like no return, that I think that's when it's like they sold their soul. Or if like you're on a Diddy tape or something like that, you sold your soul.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean, I
he
listened
did
to
some weird shit.
And I listened to a lot of your dad's interviews because I've been for the past couple of weeks. I've been listening to a bunch of shit. So he said that he was at a MC Hammer party at his MC Hammer house, and him and Prime were homies. I mean, they probably still are, but they were like really good homies. And he wanted a record, and your dad was helping him out at the tune of like $400,000-$500,000. And then there was a conflict with Nike and Death Row Records, so your dad dropped the Death Row part. Anyways, he never paid him back. So your dad says, "Hey man, I'm not gonna say what happened in that room when you're getting that lotion massage by that man, but I just want my 400,000."
See,
You know what I mean? He's on that shit.
He's on that shit. Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I was like, you know what I mean? Like them low key cuts. That's how I
That
respect.
low key cuts, yeah, man. That's why I feel like if you're gonna make it in this industry, you gotta live true, honest. That's why I live honest as possibly.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson from like, okay, yeah, let me not do this Tupac is alive thing because I respect Tupac was actually my godfather, and then I respect his family. Like, and they don't play with that Tupac name, bro, like at all. I for my clothing company, I had a shirt just for one day. It was a Tupac. It was Tupac on the shirt, and it said God's Night. Dude, the very next day, it wasn't even 24 hours. I had a cease and desist from Universal Music Group because they own the IP rights to him. They're like, hey, Suge, we see your store, very good, but this right here is the property of Tupac Shakur under the Universal Music Group estates. Please take this down and please show us all your record sales and everything. So I'm like, hey guys, like this shit was only been there for a day. Thank God I didn't sell nothing, but like, yeah, I took that shit down. I'm like, hey, call my team, like, hey, who put that up to the store? Because they're like, oh yeah, sorry, bro, we thought it was approved. Like, no.
Wow.
So there's the stages. Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
No shit.
yeah. So
How many did you make up, or you just have it?
Oh no, in stock, bro. It wasn't. Thank God we didn't go into production. It was just something that they threw on there, and it accidentally went to the store. So I had to show like there's no production made. We didn't make any because that's a whole different beast when you're dealing with like merchandising.
Where do we find your product? What are you looking for? I mean, am I looking for it in a certain spot?
Yeah. So it's a Suge, so SUGE, then it's a -night.com, and that's where you can find all pretty much the merch. SugeNight.com.
All right, cool.
I remember going to your garage one time and you had all them hat racks. Remember, you had every color and every. Remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hats and shoes.
Hats and shoes.
Hats
Yeah.
and shoes.
I mean, you right now, man. You got one of them. A special hat on right now, man.
Got that for
Got
you.
a red P hat on there.
I called him earlier. I said, "What are you doing? Let's go to lunch before Suge gets here." He goes, "Oh, I'm getting a hat." And I'm thinking he's getting a hat in his house. I'm like, all right, well, cool.
I come with a cowboy in his pocket.
Both of them motherfuckers went hat shopping. Me and this guy out.
Every picture I see of him when he has this hat on, then I did a little homework on the hats, and I know what like the Seattle Mariners. I know about the politics now. I did my homework on them. The Hoovers.
Yeah, man, you are hilarious.
Avenue
dude.
Pyros. I did my homework.
See,
on
look,
them.
and that's why I'm saying like for gang culture, this is. If gang culture is already on the internet, there's no point trying to be a gang member because you might as well just be a police officer because your job is to be like, got him, got this sucker.
Yeah,
And I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Like in the 1900s, if you were a gangbanger, you looked like his dad.
Yeah.
And now, if you're a gang member, for the most part, not everybody, but you look like an island boy.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know
God damn.
Like your dad was a big dude.
Your dad would not tolerate that. You know what I mean? Your dad wouldn't tolerate that in his prime. The way people act now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
He was a classy OG.
exactly. Clean,
Different.
Hey, a
It's
lot
different.
of those dudes were.
yeah. But that's because they didn't have a choice. Like gangs, at that time, it went from the Black Panther then to went to gangs.
Yeah.
So it was kind of almost like, well, especially in California.
Rite of passage.
Right of passage, yeah, and like California, it's not really a college like collegiate state. It may be now with the UC schools, but like a lot of people didn't have HBCUs because I went to a HBCU. I went to a historical.
Crenshaw.
Yeah, no, Crenshaw was the high school.
Oh, okay.
But I went to a historical black university. It's called Fisk University. It's down the street from Vanderbilt University, like walking distance. It's the smallest campus, so I'm like, okay, cool, but that kind of college is not really in California. It's only one, but it's very small. Nobody talks about. Other than that, USC is like in the hood. So you go to USC game, it's 100,000 to go there, but people in that area can't even afford it.
Yeah.
So that's why they had no choice but to become a gang member and then later on.
Absolutely.
But now if it's like today, it just doesn't make sense. That's why it's like, dude, there's so many programs that you could take advantage of that. You will see that these dudes who are like super gang banged out are just missing some brain cells. Like they're just
I went to
5-5 crib.
a 90.
Shout out to the homie, but yeah.
5-5 crib. Oh, shit, I know about 5-5. 3-5-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
dude, it's
I like that
funny.
he don't even say the word C. You know?
No, yeah, bro.
Buster, you Custer.
Exactly. Custer.
Custer,
Like,
everything.
dude, that's a skill, but
5-5
bro.
Hoover.
Yeah, you gotta.
Neighborhood crib.
Imagine what your dad would have thought about Jake Paul.
It's two sides of my pop. Once the business side have been like he's a genius, and then the asshole side have been like, oh, this boy is out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Like him fighting Mike Tyson shouldn't have lost that match.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like the hell, Mike.
Mike and your dad friends?
Yeah, they're
I'm
cool. I'm
assuming,
pretty sure
yeah.
they're cool. I'm pretty sure they'll smoke a blunt or something.
I remember one time the same driver that drives me when I'm in Vegas had a picture driving your dad.
Oh, that's dope.
He had a whole book of pictures of people that he had drove. His name's Manny, and he was showing me all these pictures, and your dad was in there. Ice Cube was in there. Same guy drove him.
I know Manny got stories.
Oh
I know he got some
man,
stories, man.
that's who we need to get Manny on here.
Yeah, that's what we do. Especially go to Vegas.
Manny's old school Vegas, man. I wanted to take my wife to this fancy steakhouse. I called and it was like 4 months reservation out, and I called Manny and he said, "Give me a minute, call me back 10 minutes. Your reservations are at 7:30. I'll pick you up at 7."
Oh yeah, he's that guy.
It's
Yeah,
connected.
yeah, casino vibes.
Yeah.
So,
When the whole deal was going on with Jay-Z, or not Jay-Z, Dr. Dre and your dad, and when your dad was locked up, but not this past time before, your dad said, Jay-Z made a comment, it's like, yeah, I went to meet him in prison, he signed this and that, and your dad pulled up the sheet, it was like to show people that he never came, like he never showed up, they would be on paperwork that he came. Like all that betrayal, those lies like that, like it's hard to expose them. I mean, it's just a lie that just doesn't get uncovered or what?
it's a hard fight, man, because you're dealing with media.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna put it out.
Anything they want.
They're gonna put it out.
It's about who spins the narrative. So
Wait.
you can be like they never came, and the person on the media team is like, no, right, that he came.
Yeah,
Thank
they
you.
can figure it out. Yeah,
Figure it out.
It's just a shame, like how
The
they
bullshit will never stop.
Bullshit, nah, man. Those are the real controllers, you know. Like not trying to sound like Kanye
Tailbearer.
West,
Just tailbearer.
Yeah.
but Kanye West can be like, that's news, or Trump, that's fake news.
Yeah.
You don't know what's real news or not.
That's facts. What about streamers? Do you know any streamers in LA?
I'm seeing them more and more out. Streamers are the generation after me, so
Yeah.
I'm not really.
What is a streamer?
Exactly. So it's pretty much a guy.
Ballers. They're all rich
They're
as fuck.
They're rich as fuck.
All
So
of them.
These guys go on YouTube or they just
But
broadcast.
they never do it for very long.
Yeah.
Like their career. You know what I mean?
That fucking Aiden Ross and that
Oh,
Neon and those guys, like those are guys, like I don't even how they.
That
do
guy
it.
that BG got into it with.
Oh fuck, Jack Doherty.
Yeah,
Jack Doherty,
we went
yeah.
to the Jake Paul fight when he fought Silver here, and we were down there. And we got into a my friend got into it. Jack Doherty. It's all on Jack Doherty's Instagram and all this. Shit. You
Really?
can watch it. It's funny as fuck. My friend's like, I milk cows for a living. I pull on tits. He says on Jack. It was a lot of fun. But those guys. I mean, I just think outside looking in, like DDG, like fuck.
He's
You
cool though. He's
Yeah.
like he's cool. It's just because streamers compared to rappers. Just think of it. Streamers are like they're the new generation of entertainers.
Yeah.
So, and they have to like follow guidelines. They can't like be smoking on camera
Yeah.
or like be cursing
Yeah.
crazily on camera compared to a rapper who's like, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
F you guys.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just two streamers they hold themselves to a different standard, so where they're able to have sponsors placed.
Exactly. I was gonna say, sponsor is such a big deal in their life. Like, but if you seen that dude, I sell T-shirts or something, that crazy dude,
Yeah.
like that, like what I'm saying. There's no guideline. He could be a streamer and make
Yeah.
millions of dollars, and Brandon could be. There's no like blueprint to it. Because I see some guys like, what in the fuck, and then they have kick deal that's worth fucking 600,000.
You
know
gotta
what I mean?
find that cult following.
You know what I mean?
Look at Wes Watson. All he does
that
is
vehicle.
scream at the camera. You know that dude?
Yeah, man. You gotta find your following on the internet. Like that's why there's like
You know what I've seen?
you
Just
gotta identify who what group you're in. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna be straight up gangster, then you're gonna have a small percentage who's gangsters. If you're gonna be a kid that screams in his room, you got a lot of kids who scream
Watching
in their room.
Coco Melon.
Coco Melon and shit. Like they're just reviewing, and then you just have to find out how to be a vibe or find out how to be connected with people.
Right.
And people are gonna just because celebrities aren't celebrities anymore. Like we don't have like Michael Jackson celebrities when it's like, oh shit, it's Michael Jackson. It's like who the fuck is that guy? Oh, that's a streamer.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And so you won't know who he is, but your like little brother or your daughter or kid or son would know who that is.
Are they banking?
Banking?
Oh,
Bro, streamers are banking.
like they are like
Ridiculous, dude.
it's unbelievable. They get these. It's called a kick deal. Like they all get kick, and it's like these different platforms, and then they all got $200,000, $400,000, and they have to like do it for 10 hours a month.
Mailbox money.
I mean,
Mailbox money.
we're over here on the grind.
I mean, you guys are doing pretty good though, man. You guys have some
We're almost at
legendaries.
2,000 subs.
That's
Almost.
what I'm saying, bro. So you just have to just keep getting into the algorithm, and it's
Yep.
gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
Okay.
I'm one of those guys that people see me. I'm not boosting I'm pretty humble, but I'm like they see me and see my name. It goes into the algorithm. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it helps.
hit.
Hell
It
yeah.
helps.
Like we've had baseball players and primarily rodeo stars and stuff like that, but like we've had
But we
politicians.
had the best.
the
Yeah.
best of
Like
the best.
the best in rodeo has been on this show.
And so we've had politicians, we've had sheriffs in Maricopa County. I mean, we've had a lot of different things. So, I mean, we're just trying to not just be so, like we try to.
We've
freshen
had
up.
normal people. Just
Yeah.
at a rodeo we were doing a podcast, and this dude was walking by, and he had a beer holster, like literally had a fucking holster with a beer in it, and drinking a beer. And I called him over, and we started talking to him, and he was in charge. His job, he was at a rodeo with his family, but his job, he was there on leave, is he was in charge of all the
Hollister's.
Hollister. I don't know, some kind of those big old guns for the military.
Just ran.
Just a random dude walking by.
And then Britt had
So
the
that
same
was
holster.
That's some badass shit. That's some badass shit. Well, shout out to that guy. Thank you for his service for the country.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
that's kind of, I mean, for me, that's why I do it. It's fun to get to meet all these guys and hang out. And I mean, I didn't never had the opportunity to meet you, but now I need to go over
Right,
and-
exactly.
right. You know what I
Shout
mean?
out to your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about who you are, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
And like Chad Mayfield, he was really like pushing, like he's tapped in big time on Jake, like I said, with the J. Cole's kid. And
He
like,
sits on like the court side at the Lakers
yeah,
games.
Damn.
all these, like he knows a lot of celebrities and stuff like the black culture. So he's working really hard to get the black culture more into rodeo. So I think you calling him out on that deal, like I think that's to link up a little bit.
I mean,
Like,
it was
Let
an
me
honor
tell you
to
though.
be
yeah.
call him out, man, because he's a badass dude. I seen his highlights. I'm
I
like,
never
all
got
right.
to meet him. Like,
Oh, word. We got to make that happen, man.
I never got to meet him.
He's all there.
I'll stand on this 100%.
talented.
Like I told you outside, it seems to me in rodeo, the better the guy is, the more humble he is.
Yeah.
That's just how it works, man.
You know what I mean?
That-
Like
that's
they're cooler to get along with. You know?
Yeah, man. That's pretty much LA for you. Even like, I'm not saying all rich people,
Yeah.
but like mostly rich people, they're just like very fair. Like, oh, no problem. It's not worrying me and anything like that. Then you get to like the people who's not really making it, and they're just like, excuse me, you fucking put only 4 ice cubes in my coffee. It's like, dude, why are you like this?
Like Adam Sandler just walks around in basketball shorts all day.
Cool
Yeah.
as shit. You know what I'm saying? No problem. Like, yeah, man, I'm human. While the other guy's like, do you know who I am? I have this many followers on TikTok. It's like, God.
So
damn.
tell me, like, how many times you been somewhere and you had to say your name and then they'd be like, Suge Knight? Like, Suge Knight.
Dude.
Like when they call out your name.
Everywhere I go, I always know I'm next. It was like Brad, Timmy. No way. No way. Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Like I'm always paying my bills on time because I hate bill collectors that call me like, can I speak to Suge Knight? It's like, yeah, fuck you, pay it in full.
I was gonna say because like sometimes you're like not in the mood to talk. Like, no, that's not my dad.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, no.
Ain't a collect call, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, man. I'll even mess around like, no, it's not Suge, it's Suhei. Oh, sorry.
How long till your dad comes home?
Jason.
It's a couple, maybe a year or two.
Oh,
Couple
wow.
years. Yeah, like it's not. He's been knocking a hella years out, and like he did like a lot of years in county. So those days
Time served.
Those are
Yeah,
time served.
yeah.
Those are double days. It's all adding up. He got some like 10 years knocked off. So it's like
won't be too
just
long.
any other day. My dad is a type of dude. Every time he went to jail, he never told people when he was coming out.
Yeah.
He would just pop out. So one day,
What's his plans?
his plans, I think it's just to live life. I'm not too sure.
It's
I don't,
good too.
I don't think he's gonna be into music. He may, but like not like how he usually was.
That's okay. That's all right.
Because I'm telling them, like, dude, the music industry is
I was
different.
gonna say it's different now,
It's
right?
so different.
Drill music and shit.
It's not even, those are genres, but it's just like he comes from physical sales. And like now it's all streaming.
Yeah.
So everybody's in the 360 deal.
He be
And
pulling his hair out.
there's no real labels. It's just management companies. And like I said, you go back to Live Nation and these other like promoters, they have all the venues sold up. So you have to kiss their ass to.
And he ain't the type.
Yeah. So it's really no different than like someone coming, like you're trying to get contracts for your farm and then they're underselling you or they're trying to fuck you over. I'm pretty sure that happens with these contracts. Yeah.
Oh yeah. In every business.
In every business, there's always just like, they're just trying to eliminate the middleman to take it all.
I feel like, I mean, this is just me outside looking in, but I feel like your dad is like always on the ready in the sense like you said, he don't want no one always getting out. Like because that's like old school politics. Like you have to watch your ass type. Like, and being from Compton, right? It's where he was born and raised, right?
Yeah.
Compton. So, I mean, I'm sure he kept his shoes tied up. You know what I mean? Like there's in the yard or whatever, they have to do like certain regiments to stay ready, especially in the Hispanic community and stuff. But
they keep everyone segregated. Yeah. But definitely like in that prison lifestyle, you have that, it's no different. It's like, I'm not trying to compare it to the military, but it's no different. You have to be kind of militant.
Absolutely.
How you live.
Did they got him in General Pop?
I don't think so. I think he says he's a high powered guy. Right. It's not like he's like going to PC, but it's like, why would you torture yourself?
Yeah.
Put yourself in the line. Like you see what they did to Tory Lanez.
God bless.
They stabbed him up, and it's like there was just no reason to keep him in general.
Other than the fact that
Well, I think a lot of
and they'd be looking to do it too.
Yeah,
just fucking randomly.
Like, why would you just put somebody
for the notoriety?
And then it just puts the jail or the prison in jeopardy to get sued. So they're not gonna do that because they're there. You're under their tutelage.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
So it just wouldn't make sense. It doesn't mean anything to be in the PC thing. I know my dad would hate to hear me say that shit because it's like I get it, but it's like he would be okay if he was in the general, but. Why put yourself through
why
that?
Chance it?
Why chance it?
You're still gonna put the time no matter what. Might as well be safe.
That's like making it in the hood. You stay in the hood.
Yeah.
Why would you stay in the hood?
Do you know anything? I mean, were you obviously you're from LA when this happened? The Nipsey Hussle deal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so much controversy behind that conspiracy, but what I've heard is like the guy come back with a red shirt on, and they don't even sell red shirts blue. They don't even sell them shirts. Like there was so much like they were trying to throw it off. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know too much about it, but I just know like,
he was a known person.
It's a known thing where gangs are always taking each other out. Yeah. It's not like an enemy gang. It's someone in that same organization that's taking each other out, and it's always over just my dad even said he was too loyal to his community, and it's just a little balance between being too loyal and just putting yourself in the line of fire. Mm-hmm. Like you just don't want to be in a den with wolves. Like if you're the only one eating, help figure other people out to eat. But there's still somebody that's going to probably try to take you out because they feel like they have to take you out instead of working hard and learning.
Because I mean, think about this: like they don't sell blues shirts in that neighborhood. Like even liquor stores, they don't sell blue shirts. Well, this fool come back wearing a blue shirt, and they're like, "Oh, something's wrong." And I could be wrong with some of my details.
It might be a little conspiracy.
I've watched a lot of videos.
Because it's just it's like gangbang is not into the red or blue color thing. And I'm not a gang member. I'm not a gang member to speak on it, but I just know going to school at Crenshaw High School, like that's a school that's in South Central. It's changed a whole lot. Like in the 1900s, early 90s, and the 80s, that's when they were color banging and had the hats. Yeah. People still kind of identify with the hats, but like
him.
Yeah, like
Tolleson Bloods.
Tolleson Bloods, you know what I'm saying? From Paru Farms, coming from Crip Farms and all that. But like people just don't really identify with the colors or as much as with the hats. Like you now see some gang members wear their enemies' hats.
Yeah, throw them off.
And just to throw them off or just to taunt them.
Troll.
And I'm always reverted back to it. Like if you're gang banging, it just doesn't make sense in this day and age. Because
that's when your
too
dad
many
comes
opportunities.
in, and like he knows like this is bullshit. We should he knows the right way to maneuver. Like
even too. I mean, I think, and not that I pay that much attention to TV and stuff, but it's really kind of dissipated and fell off too because you don't see it on TV as much. You don't see everybody painting shit up when they leave, whatever. You know, if you mark my territory and shit.
Yeah, man, because it's like shit. It's for one, it's expensive as hell to live in L.A., Los Angeles, even in the hood. Like there's your grandma's house. There was like, don't sell your grandma's house. Her house is over $1 million, but if you sell it or you take a loan off of it, or get equity off of it, no shit.
Move to Arizona.
Huh? Are you gonna move to Arizona? And if you don't got that bread, they move to Arizona, man. I don't know, man. You better have that cake. So like, go back to trades. They need to. They don't teach healing in high schools or anything like that.
No.
Well, the college you go to college.
I went to
rodeo
school on a rodeo scholarship.
Yeah, so like you go to college on rodeo scholarships. And
Okay,
stuff.
that's badass.
They have high school rodeo.
Yeah.
But you just leave on the weekends to go compete. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. That's
Yeah.
badass.
But it's like any with youth ball or basketball or baseball. Everybody's kind of brought up through the kind of similar system. You know?
Little leagues, and pee-wees, and going all the way up. And stuff
That's
like that.
dope. That's dope. I'm into coaching. I do coaching on the side. So I'm a running back coach
Okay.
for Hollywood High School. So,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's how I give back. I would go to Crenshaw High School, but I'm gonna just start out right now at Hollywood High School and just try to get some more prospects because I'm like, dude, during this time when I went to in my high school days, I was balling, but I didn't have the chance to have NIA deals. Are you guys?
Big time. Yeah. I'm
Rodeo?
trying to get my daughter one right now.
Yeah.
They don't do it in rodeo.
So since we're big into NIA deals now, I'm like,
It's crazy the money.
yeah.
There's 8th graders got NIL deals.
Yeah, man.
7th graders got NIL deals. We went to the game the other day. My daughter did pretty good, and I was in the crowd. Like, NIL. I'm trying. I'm gonna be that dad.
exactly.
I'm gonna
man.
spend all that money. For
So
it.
that's what I'm saying. It's no point in being into like no gangs. It's like build your foundation,
Make
continue,
money.
continue your legacy. LeVar Ball, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, he got whatever people want to say about him. He's a genius.
Genius, man.
You don't gotta like it. Big baller Brown down your throat for fucking a year straight.
Yeah.
And he's chilling now. I mean, he's man, and it's just that big old deal. Like his best friend was in that controversy and stole all that money from him when they started that brand. Like, oh my god! Like they had a series. I watched the series. I watched every minute of it. That dude was like a main person in that series, and then it was like, oh, he ain't there no more because he stole fucking $2 million or whatever it was, and just
Only your friends can betray you.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
man. Unbelievable.
Gotta.
So
That ain't nothing true.
if we set up a celebrity boxing match, who you boxing? Anybody you want.
I already called out Ray J.
I was gonna say,
I'll still take you on, Ray. You know what I'm saying? I'll still whoop your ass.
Yeah, Ray, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Who you boxing?
Butter butt.
I don't have any idea. Fuck Ray J.
Yeah, fuck Ray J.
Britt's fighting Ray J too.
Yes.
Yeah. It would just be Ray J for now, and then like I don't know whoever else, man.
You know,
all these other dudes is cool.
Because Aiden Ross just had that big boxing match.
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh, yeah.
With Charleston White, do that.
Charleston White,
You
yeah.
need to get in there. Like they would. I guarantee you.
My boy was it. He fought one of those people in there. He was a
Julian.
super black dude. He's country something.
The big guy.
Yeah, some country skinny country dude. His Instagram is I love white girls. I don't know. He's like black like this.
Yeah.
His desk.
Big old dude. I saw him. Yeah.
How old are you, Suge? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, cool.
So I'm last in my 20s. About to be 30.
And how old your dad?
He's 60. We 30 years
60.
apart.
All right, cool.
Well, because man, Charleston did good in there with that Island boy. I was happy.
did.
Yeah, for an old man, like he's swinging on him.
Charleston
just-
blind, right? He only got
One eye,
Yeah.
but man, that's another person. Like I can't believe how he can just run his mouth and be like not scared. Like
You will be surprised, man, of how many of these dudes are like gangsters or informants.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
they say Whack is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's alleged. I
DND.
believe-
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Because you can't like point them out, but if you think about it, how these dudes take out police officers, or not police officers, but take out their competition, like art of war, is by snitching.
Yeah.
And that's what I consider snitching. Snitching is like telling on someone for your advantage, not
Yeah.
because you're in fear. And,
You're both selling drugs. You're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
snitch on him. I get both blocks.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If
Well,
you're
like-
a regular citizen, do the right thing.
One of the biggest mix-ups I would say in the last 50 years over there was Big U going down, like because he was such a staple in the community. He had such the persona of being the nice guy, all the stuff. Like he was donating money to the parks and recs and taking all the football teams, and like he was big time in the community.
Yeah, I was a part of that, man.
bet.
Yeah, I went to Crenshaw High School, so
Yeah.
I seen all the players that before they came out of Big U's camp,
Bunches of
went to Crenshaw High School. So I
Does Snoop
seen
just still do his football league?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Does he?
Does he?
Snoop, he was doing a Snoop Youth football league.
And
Yeah.
this guy, man, but he portrayed like he was, it's like Robin Hood, like he was doing really good for the hood, but he was also whatever, when
They call it extortions and stuff like that, and it's all alleged.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, man, like
he had a lot of similarities as your pops. I don't know.
Allegedly.
alleged similarity. I can see the similarities, but it's like they wasn't the same thing though. Like
they-
my pops, it was this music business.
Yeah.
Big U was nonprofits.
Yeah.
and like he was doing he was a lot of stuff that was benefiting kids that didn't have a chance.
And sometimes they
nonprofit,
should just let that shit slide. If it's
mean-
benefiting kids, who cares if that guy's getting rich?
They
beating up
pick and choose. It's all
You know what I
selective.
mean?
It's selective outrage. Ain't nobody pointing at Brett Favre like, "Hey, man."
That watch. It was the only watch in the whole nation. It was his watch.
Yeah. So it's like shit.
What about you know about Lefty Gunplay?
Lefty Gunplay is dope.
Yeah.
He's working himself. Like,
Yeah.
He's working up.
He's working on himself. I like him. I've been with him for a long time. I would love to meet that guy. Adam 22. What about that guy?
That's one of those guys I'm just not pretty much a fan of.
Are you aware of this man, Adam 22?
Never heard of him.
So Adam
His wife's
22,
in porn, no?
him and his wife,
What?
His wife does porn, right?
Oh,
So-
then I probably know her.
That house.
So him and his wife
I
have
know
a podcast. Well, he has a podcast called No Jumper, and he has a bunch of rappers on. But he also has one on the side. So they'll come and they'll fuck each other and they'll do.
Oh, is that the one with the tattoos and stuff?
Yeah. So he lets his wife get banged by that big butt Jason Love. And they did all that whole deal. And so everybody that comes on the podcast will be like, "How did you let that big black guy fuck your wife?" And then he gets all mad. Like,
Yeah.
what do you fucking think's gonna happen, buddy?
As a Christian man, I don't relate to that man.
No, not at all.
I just don't
relate
relate
to
to him. If that's his beliefs. That's that dark side of Hollywood.
But
But
that's what I was
that's
gonna say.
Yeah.
that's going back to what you guys were talking about earlier, that influencer thing. Like Tupac's alive, boom, shoots up, right? That guy is selling his soul.
That's selling your
He's
soul.
selling
Yeah.
his soul
Yeah.
for clicks and likes.
So it's
You
like,
know what I mean?
Morals and all that shit that he does.
Like, how do you go have dinner at your mom's house after that?
Yeah. And then like your wife's looking at your mom's looking at your wife like, I
Yeah.
can't believe that. Oh my
Like
god.
what in the hell?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the side of Hollywood
Who's that white boy goes on his podcast all the time? He's gangbanger dude. I don't know.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he's
got
a
kicked
pimp.
off.
Oh, he got
he's a
kicked
real
off
pimp.
now?
He's a pimp.
And then did you see that one when they had that little pimp in there that he was like a youngster and man Sharp let him have it. Sharp full of shit though. I think Sharp makes up stories.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's
Clicks
just
and likes.
the less like if you're uneducated, it's easy to exploit you and take advantage of you. That's what killed a lot of reality TV. Reality TV kind of brought that, but then it just got dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
So now people are like fighting each other for free
That's true.
because
Now they had to go back to the Mormons to get it going again.
I did watch Vanderpump Rules though.
Hey, I told you all.
love Vanderpump.
Hey,
yeah, that's some good shit.
So I
I
want
showed
to be
you
Tom
that shit,
Sandoval.
Yeah, now that guy with the Mormon wives, his wives is hot. But I will say this though, though I've never seen it all work out.
Can you imagine
no,
that?
it ain't never
Right.
gonna work out.
Like in season 1, they're like, we're a happy family, he
it's
goes to
never
all
gonna
of
work
us, and then they get to like season 24, they're like, yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
We all had 8 kids, we're just trying to take him out.
Uh-huh.
I don't give a fuck what religion you are at that
Yeah.
point.
They're putting the fences back up in the backyard because they don't want him coming over no more.
Yeah,
You got guys like the Island Boys. You mentioned that earlier. Them making out. You're talking about selling your soul. They made out on camera.
yeah.
Or like, and they're like, we're gonna make $3 million on that. I'm like, now you're fucked for life. Like every time they go to a press conference, they bring that up, and you could just tell in their face that just eats them up. They're like, man, because they already spent that $3 million. They ain't got it no more. They're the bros fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
Fame is a battlefield that people don't really understand. So if you put yourself out there in a bad way, you gotta understand that you have to constantly keep putting yourself out there in a bad way.
That's the greatest thing you probably said all day. Fame is a battlefield.
It's a
no
battlefield.
matter what
No matter
area
what,
of fame you're in.
Doesn't matter what genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop letting these, only thing stop letting these people pump you up and thinking that you're missing something out of your life. Like you're not missing anything out. Only thing I feel bad for is for like the guys who's just, living their regular life and they're doing their daily thing. is to watch out for those YouTubers that like you're out with your girlfriend. And you're like, hey, can we go through your phone? You gotta swap phones. Stay the fuck away from those guys.
I mean, that's
like,
unbelievable. Like, what
don't
the
swap
fuck?
no
I don't
phone.
think that. I don't think that'd go good for me.
No, I know.
I'd punch that motherfucker right in the
Me
face.
too.
Hey, we could be the most loyalist dude, but
Yeah,
just,
I'll give her my phone, but get your shit out of my face.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff.
like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Because now you got my girl looking like
Digging through it.
digging
Yeah,
through
you
it.
see those guys? They're doing those pranks in like Home Depot and shit like that, where they do that stuff.
Shit is bullshit.
I don't. I mean, I think somebody, if they just start whooping their ass, they'll probably quit that.
That Jack Doherty, he turned the power off at Walmart, and it cost like $150,000 in damages because all the meat and everything. Because by the time it reached back on, and he was like 15 when this happened. But I think he has 40 homes. This kid.
Yeah.
He has like 40 homes, Lamborghinis, and he's the most.
I think celebrity boxing, you should whoop his ass.
I don't think he'll fight me.
Nah, I don't need
I ain't got no clout.
Nah, I don't need the clout. Nah, man.
Shit, they're scared of this hat. They don't even
Yeah,
know about me.
nah.
Shit,
Shit, the damn rappers is going to Jack more than anything. They calling him up. Hey, Jack, come out.
No shit.
Let me put this chain on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little baby over there sucking his dick every week. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
know. If he's doing that, that's his choice.
No. I didn't mean it like
We back to the Diddy parties.
Back to the Diddy parties.
To the Diddy parties.
You can nurse on why not? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, man.
When your dad said that about Prime, I was about to fill out the chair. I was like, oh no, man. But your dad had a point. He's like, man, he goes, I spent $400,000 on this man. Flew him out. He brought him out with, and he had room service, and he said Prime had his family, and they had the song Money, Money, Money.
Yeah, who got the money? Yeah,
Who got
the
money?
Affleck curse.
Yeah. That's it.
I know.
That was for him.
Yeah, that's all true. It's the reason why, like, my dad just saying that now, because, he's just in prison.
But I don't blame him. You
No,
know
I
what
blame him. He
Yeah.
has nothing to lose to doing
Yeah.
it. But, like, people just understand that he's just in prison, and then that's the only thing that's keeping him sane.
Yeah,
'Cause
I got it.
when you're very successful, you go to prison, it's like, damn, dude. Everyone who's ever been to prison or in that cell has been like, damn, I fucked up. I'm never going to do this again.
Yeah.
Now, he may have done that a couple times.
Yeah.
But, thank God that God doesn't judge everybody, and just one day it'll fix itself. But, like,
There you go.
he I know he wouldn't be out. It would be different. He was outside complaining like that. Cause then that's when he lost everything.
Yeah.
But if he's inside in his cell, he's saying whatever's on his mind. He's just speaking. He's just doing what he can. Because when he was outside, he wouldn't be tripping on 400,000.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he gave a very clear credit. He said, "Man, me and Prime are homies, and we're homies." But he goes, the truth's the truth, and that's what me in this past week doing this like homework I've been doing. I have a lot of respect for your dad in a lot of ways. He had some bully tactics and stuff like that, but I think he's a real gangster, and I think the code on being a real gangster, it shines in different ways. And I'm sure there's done a lot of good things for a lot of people that were never brought up, because they're not going to portray, like, ever going to give him his flowers for that,
Yeah.
Just knowing, like, we all do things that people don't see, like, you know what I mean? And I know it's been his shoes, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're a gangster like him. I believe he believed, or he lived his life as a gangster, though, all the way up.
But it was a different time.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he thought he had to build that empire.
And look
That's what that's pretty much that's his story. I mean, we all had gangster moments in our lives.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you have
going through it.
I'm pretty sure you had some gangster moments in your farm days. Like, hey man, like, you probably beef with this farm. Like, hey, don't undercut me. And next thing you know, you turn into the Al Pacino. Like,
Yeah. Oh, it happens.
it happens. Yeah, hey, this hay is short. What's going on?
Yeah. That's it.
You seen us out there by
Hear
the
that
scale?
shit, Ray J? Don't short me on no hay, Ray J.
You seen us by the scale on chicken
Don't
weight?
show me on no hay, Ray J. Don't short me on no butter, Ray.
Laredo want no smoke.
No.
Nah, he don't.
Well, I don't know. It's been 3-4 months ago, Brandon, where he called me and said about Suge Jr. I'm like, huh?
Cool, man. That's
I
great.
said Suge Knight Jr.
The thing is, though, I'm not a junior, though, because that's why my name.
That's why you got to keep your name. That
That's why I
helps
keep.
you.
Yeah, that's why I
Get
was
that shit.
keeping the legacy alive, man. Because this shit.
How did that work out? He just didn't have the junior on it. That's why.
He's a junior by Marion, so it's Marion Hugh Knight Jr.
Oh, okay.
So my family's originated from, on my dad's side, from Mississippi, and so Suge is a known nickname, down in the South. Suge, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Sugar Man, and like shit.
They got Sugar Man in South Phoenix.
That's what yeah, nah, we ain't that Sugar Man, nah, not BMF Sugar Man type. But like it just came about. So when my dad and my mom, they was both like, we're gonna call him Suge. And then Jacob comes from my dad's friend Jake. So it's like a lot of history behind my name.
Cool.
So I got the legacy Suge, and then Jacob is from my friend, my dad's friend Jake, who got killed in a Puffy altercation down in Atlanta. He was my friend, my dad's friend's Big Jake. And then Knight is the surname. So I just keep things alive. And I just have to just learn through the business, man. If I was like really big headed or just like felt entitled, I wouldn't have learned how to do the rights and licensing, or how to trademark things, or how to have the connections to have my own motion. Because I could have easily been like, no, I'm waiting for my dad to get out. I deserve this. I deserve that. Yeah. Act like I'm a heir to something. I'm not a heir or whatever. It's just more like I worked hard for that shit.
Yeah.
That is your name.
Yeah, that is my name. And then
well, make that point you
Simple
told me.
as that.
Make the point, but you told me about farmers, about the names.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Same thing.
It's the same thing, right? Like a lot of these farmers, these kids come up, and just because they have that last name, some of them get opportunities, and it'll, like, again, it either goes two ways. You smoke it up or you make something out of it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same in farming as the same, the stories you tell us.
Nobody blames you, for what you did.
Nah, man, it's just the way how to keep things alive, man. And like,
I think it was your Uncle Alfie that turned us on to you.
Yeah, shout out to my Uncle Alfie, man.
Me and Duck were driving down the road, and we started talking about it because we talked about Duck a little bit earlier, but I mean, he's building cars. He sent one to Snoop and stuff like that. So we were talking about
Wack got one.
Wack got one.
Shout out to Wack getting that one. Ain't no hate, ain't no malice and like that. That's what's up. Thank you for supporting Duck, homie.
So we called your Uncle Alfie, and he's like, yeah. So he turned us on to it. So
that's what's up.
And we just always thought it'd be fun.
Yes, sir.
And it turned out to be fun.
Yep, we got it on.
I mean,
got some videos of you and Big Blue.
Oh yeah, we got
shit.
Yeah, we got call outs to Shad, Benny.
Yeah, Benny Mosley.
All the boys. You'd like Benny, dude.
Yeah.
Benny's cool as shit.
That's what's up.
And Shad is too. And it goes back, I've said it a couple times already, but that dude is the best in the world at what he does, and is the most humble guy.
6'4".
Yeah.
He roped him, breaks the record in Vegas 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Breaks a record in Vegas, fastest ever, or at the Renafar to the duck. You got to get back on your horse. That calf has to stay tied for 6 seconds, and while you're back on your horse, because you have to see how tight he gets loose.
Now, since these dudes bring all these people to the venues, who gets all the money though? Like
PRCA,
the Live Nation,
of those people.
But those guys that win, I mean, they get some of it. But Live Nation, PRCA is getting like 90% of it.
Yeah. By the time these guys get to Vegas, say they won 100,000 that year, they got to Vegas, they got 100,000 into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that when they get to Vegas, whatever they win that week of Vegas at 10 days, that's what they get to go and start the year with. That's their bonus. But they're going to take top 15. So say 16th guy in the world, he did everything that the 15 guy did and just didn't make it
by dollars
cents.
How come? What's stopping these dudes for doing their own event independently?
It's not. It just
Bull Riders did it. They did a standalone event, but they can't. We don't. They won't be able to sell any tickets to anything else because, well, first of all, it can be boring. I mean, the same way they watch a team roping event or Shad's event and there's a calf rope, and they have some standalone events, but they won't draw the crowds because they don't have the bull riding events, they don't have the specialty acts and shit like that.
People watch NASCAR not for the racing in a circle, but they watch it for the wrecks. They watch bull riding for the wrecks. Team roping, calf roping, these other things, there's not that excitement factor. You know what I mean?
Them guys sell that wagon.
Yeah, them guys nod their head in the bull ride, and there's a very good chance could be a wreck. You know what I mean? It's hard to sell. I think Kid Rock and the production company of that thing is doing
good.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job. They're trying to change it up. You know, I mean, same basic concept, but they're making them start off of a green light. They're putting them head to head.
Yeah, like
doing things like that.
So like they just the head to head situation real quick. There's they rope over here, same arena or separate arenas, but it's all connected and they're racing. So it's a different concept. It's there's two at the same time going. Two horses bucking at the same time. Like it's a new concept that they're trying to freshen it up, get different You know,
Well, instead of just having a rodeo, which there's nothing wrong with the Western tradition and everything that's always done because it's everything that I'm all about, but it just got to a point where it's kind of stale. Other than national finals, yeah, Reno's got a great perf. Denver sells a good perf. There's lots of good performances, but for the most part, it is 7 major events. They have a specialty act in between a couple of the events, so you pretty much know what you're going to get to. Where I think that they, just like you talked about with anything else and everything you've talked about with these YouTubers and shit, that they needed to make sure that they take rodeo and go a different direction, and that's what Kid Rock's doing. They're making it more entertaining, pick favorites, and instead of just knowing, oh, there's a cowboy that's going to rope a calf, he's going to pick the one on the right or the left. As simple as that. So
shout out to Kid Rock, man. And what other entertainers is it other than Kid Rock? That's like
There's like Parker McCollum.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some country guys that go and
okay,
they're starting to get bigger and bigger. And
like a Morgan Wallen. Would he?
Yeah,
make a
yeah.
contender?
he's throwing fucking chairs off buildings. He's busy.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
But I mean, really, for those guys to get back, a lot of them do. George Strait, especially. I mean, of course he does. But you see, I mean, like Houston Rodeo. We couldn't wait to get up, and what nights we went up. They had great concerts and venues every night, so it was cool.
So they got to. There's a lot of perks. You know, there's a lot of cool things goes on that doesn't show up on the check. That he got to see the world. You know,
Yeah,
and
it's cool.
that's
And
stuff.
from my perspective, I think that the match of them going at the same time is more entertaining because I get to Britt said, I get to say, okay, I want the guy on the left. You take the guy on the right. You know what I mean?
It's just that simple,
it's a match thing. You know, like it just
Boom boom.
yeah.
But no, we would love like we said, we got the one coming. It's in November. It's right here. It's
Hondo.
the Hondo.
Hondo's
we're
cool.
gonna go and do
Okay.
it again.
All the boys will be here. John Dowsh,
Those Mayfield. I mean, you need to pull up that day.
What day?
Dion.
Do we have a
I'll get
date
you the
yet?
dates. Yeah.
Okay,
we went to it last year. Right here, it's at the stadium, so it's really nice.
Nickelback will be
Yeah,
there too.
yeah, nice.
Nickelback. Okay, yeah.
You get to go. We'll go and do a lot of podcasts and stuff.
Who were you making that video to earlier? What music?
Oh shit, that was look. I called when I called out
Shad.
Shed. Yeah, I put Pearl Jam, Even Flow behind that shit. Even Flow. That shit was badass.
Yeah, it was.
So I know that's how I pictured it. I've never been to a rodeo, but I pictured those kind of bands being like performing at these rodeos and giving that experience.
Like in Houston, they have rap. They have Flow Rider was there this year, and then
See,
they got some real
okay,
ones.
now you say rap, you say Flow Rider, I can understand it because Flow Rider he makes good music, good music, but it's not like the typical.
Even though he's close to Houston, we're not going to have Boozy Badass.
Those-
There will be no Boozy.
I love Boozy. I love Boozy.
Boozy bring out
Undeniable
a-
talent.
Put your pussy lips on that.
Undeniable talent.
I give it $1,000. But nah, man, rap is just different because like rap concerts, they're dope, but they're just not as like exciting as an experience compared to like a rock concert.
Yeah.
Because when I was at the merch company I was at, it's like death heavy metal. I'm like, dude, when I went to a Slayer concert or Kerry King, I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, man, that's just gonna be boring. I went into that mosh pit, bruh. I was there leading that shit like Kerry King, and I'm like understanding, like I appreciate the real instruments in it. So that's why.
better.
That guy right there knows all about that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why
Oh,
when
yeah.
you have these rodeos, I know that it's like you have to have that experience
Yeah.
all built into that to
And that's what
You'll
they're
love
trying
it.
to do with some of these Hondo, Kid
Yeah.
Rock, the one at Petco Park in San
Yeah.
Diego.
In San Diego, this you'll
And I
come
mean
with
the
us. It'll be
NFR.
fun.
The NFR
Yeah.
is that in Vegas. That thing is, if you've never actually been one
Yeah,
time, you
it's
got to go.
amazing.
Snoop Dogg was there last year. I think a friend of mine, Quinn Campbell, he's a bulldogger from Robertsdale. He went to the finals during Las Vegas, did a private show somewhere, and I guess some guys went and
That'd be awesome.
yeah, I got to go see
That'd be
Snoop.
cool.
Oh, God.
Snoop.
Oh,
dude.
I don't know.
I
I mean,
could just imagine some high heelers.
yeah, yeah. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. He says.
Do healers have sponsorships? How does that work?
Yeah, just everybody. I mean, a lot of times, talent's going to bring you a lot to begin with too, and I guess being personable and being able to visit and talk to people, that doesn't hurt either. But you got to go out and hustle your own for the most part. Like one of my biggest ones was Cinch Jeans and Shirts. So I was with them since they started, and it was started just like with anything else. You know a person that knows a person, and from that point forward. But with anything, I got Cinch. I had a deal with GM. And there were several other things, but we had to hustle after those, especially. But I think it's better now today, again, because I said of the coverage that they're getting on TV and the Cowboy Channel, because you got something to give these companies.
Yeah, man, I definitely would look forward to collaborating with you. You know, I want to do a rodeo line.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be dope, man.
Suge Knight Rodeo, that'd be sick.
Hell yeah, bro.
I
So
like it. The Brit, like you said, people person. Before we end, I gotta say that. So Brit knew one of the coolest guys in the industry. He talk about limousines. This guy had limousine service in Las Vegas of all places. So big time limousine service. So Britt got to link up with him and go on a private jet. So he was one of the lucky ones that got to fly and be like a real pro. I would say like a rock star in that sense.
Yeah, as close as to rodeo as a rock star.
He got to G9 it around and fucking. And this guy was having fun. So like his rigs were going and his horses were going to places. So he would just get on the plane and fucking. So all his buddies were like, "Why the fuck you do that?" He's flipping them off and going to the next one. So this guy's got to live a life like most have it in the rodeo world.
Yeah. It will be an honor, man, to have you some Suge Knight gear, though, bro. I will be really honored.
Then when Suge gets out, he's gonna be like, "What in the hell are you doing with all these fucking hillbilly ones?" Come on, son.
I'm like, get your ass on the horse. It's a picture of him on the horse, man. So and that horse like was crying.
Big horse, I was gonna say.
Shit.
Big country.
He's tall though, huh? Sure.
Yeah, he's a tall dude, 6'5". I didn't get that lucky. My little brother, all my younger brothers is taller than me. But yeah, it's all right. Somehow that be, I'm blessed in other ways.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But
fast. He's fast.
Fast. I'm fast. Exactly. Fast. And I'm just blessed to keep the legacy alive. And be around other guys that have the same interests as me. Keep the legacy alive.
Well, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah,
And I do appreciate it. It's a little out of the norm for all of us, but that's how you have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was
get out of the norm.
Hell yeah, man.
Those people are gonna be looking and like, who?
Hell
yeah. Let's
sure
do
not.
Shit. Yeah. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
you, sir. Thank you.